The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Think that, Patty?
I agree.
All right, listen, I want to start with this. Oh, what a night. Watching Tottenham on a Tuesday night. You play
get out!
because you're fucking shy. What a feeling, what a night. You can't then tell me that two players go out and you strengthened as well, and then all of a sudden your whole season crumbles. It's crazy. And to me, if Arsenal don't make top 4 this season, that is one of the biggest bottle jobs in recent Premier League history. But imagine me then turning around and saying, oh, you guys are celebrating today, but 3 weeks ago you were unhappy. That's football. But it doesn't make you a flip-flop fan.
Yeah,
You're actually enjoying I'm not happy, man. I was underwhelmed. I was quite shocked when he was when we were linked to him. I mean, we had some big hitters in there originally, Conte, Poch, you know, so then to be then linked with Nuno and for him to get the nod over all the other guys.
Grin, almost as big as he is because he's like 6'5". Very good friend, very good person. Previously of our channel friends Views TV is the one and only Patrick Tyrant.
Yes, what's happening, people? It's your boy Patrick Tyrant, aka Young Swaggy Daniels. When you see the T, see the P. When you see the P, that represents T. Let's go. I think we're live. Yeah, man. I think we are live. How are we doing? How are we doing? How are we all? What's good in the hood? How are you? It's 12 noon in the UK, so good afternoon to everyone tuning in right now. If you're watching on the reruns or you're in another country, I'm global now, baby. You heard that, I'm global. Now I'm playing. But yeah, I've got people that tune in and watch from all over. So if you're tuning in from another country and it's a different time zone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, you know what? Twitter are cheeky fuckers. Like, when I set this all up behind the scenes and you click to go live, you know, I usually stream it off of Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. You can't do it unless you have a premium account. And last season, maybe it shows how long I haven't done a stream, because last year you could upload it to Twitter and it would go live on Twitter as well. And obviously, you know, I've got quite a few Twitter followers. They would jump in and this and that. Now you can't do that. To stream it straight live onto Twitter, you have to have a Twitter premium account, or X as they call it now. I'm like, wow, you cheeky fucks. Any way to get money out of you guys, or to get money out of us, or me in this case, they will. I'm not paying for Twitter, man. Fuck that. So yeah, that's really annoyed me because I didn't know that. So that's annoying because obviously I've got a good following and a good fan base on Twitter, and now they're not going to know that I'm live unless I pay. And I'm not paying for Twitter premium, man. Don't want to look like one of those dickheads paying for a blue check. Do you know what I mean? So that's annoyed me. But anyway, we're here, we're back. It's Chatty Patty episode 3.1, which means it's a new season, new content. I'm sorry if you missed me over the summer. I didn't want to be one of those guys just spamming content for the sake of it. At the end of the day, when the football's back on, I'll be back on. That's my mantra, that's my motto. So didn't want to just be here just talking for the sake of it. Anytime there's a little bit of a transfer mumbling or news or fake news, I didn't want to just be one of those guys uploading. And shout out to everyone that does. Obviously, I've got guys all over and each to their own. But for me, I just want to be able to just give you lot proper content when the season's out and we got real stuff to talk about. Do you get me? So for me, yeah, I wanted to wait until the season was up and running, and that just gives me real stuff to pick at and unpack and all of that stuff. So yeah, we shall where should we start, man? It's been an interesting week. Obviously we had the summer as well to get through and talk about, and you know, where we are and how I feel and how you feel and all of that. So obviously if you're here in the comments, by all means drop a comment, let me know you're tuned in, let me know where you're tuning in from and how you're doing. It's Friday, like I said, Friday 12 noon whilst I'm recording this, Friday the 23rd. We've obviously got a game tomorrow. We play Everton at 3 o'clock, first home game of the season. So I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to being amongst all the Spurs fans again. New season, new chance of optimism. You know, everything that happened last year, we kind of like can part that to the side, and we can try and crack on and enjoy what's to come. So yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to actually say some stuff, and you know, like in your head, you've always got a plan of how you want the show to unfold, and then when you get here, it's just me talking at a screen, and it's a bit weird. So yeah, yeah, man. Like we're back. we yeah, I don't know. Like yeah, the Leicester game was an interesting one. It really was. It really was. Actually, you know what? Before that. So a bit of housekeeping, obviously, for all of those that are new to the channel and haven't been here before, where have you been? But also at the same time, respect for dropping by and popping by. I really appreciate your time. My name's Patrick Tyrant. You will see it there. You know, it's always mirrored, so it's hard to like do this and get it right. But yeah, so that's me. So you can find me obviously on Twitter. You're here, Instagram, but the main one is Twitter, and then obviously YouTube. The show's called Chatty Patty. Obviously my name's Patrick Tyrant, so yeah, I'm on a number of different platforms and all of that, but obviously if you follow me on Twitter, you'll be able to see what I'm up to, and then you can just jump on and interact and get involved. This year I want to be a bit more consistent on my channel. People always saying, why don't you post more on your channel and this and that? It's hard, isn't it? Like with all the time constraints and you're busy and this and that, but I do understand that this is my channel and this is my platform where I get to say unfiltered, not like I'm filtered, but I can literally be myself and just express how I feel with no time limit and no time constraints. And yeah, so we'll go back to, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. Do we start with the Leicester game? Do we really go into that? I've done it all week on other shows, but I know that people may not have heard what I've got to say. So yeah, we'll start. So obviously over the summer, the biggest signing we had was Dominic Solanke, 65 million, 65 of the great, I was going to say Queens. Yeah, it's King Charles now, isn't it? King Charlie. that doesn't even sound like, you know, he's going to say like Queen Lizzie, but it's King Charlie. So yeah, 65 million pounds for big Dominic Solanke. 19 goals last season, couple of assists, great rise through the ranks, so to speak. The season before last, when Bournemouth were in the Championship, their last year in the Championship, which was 2 years ago, Big Dom came in, well, 3 years ago now, because we're in a new season. Big Dom scored 29 goals, which is, it's a good return, a very good return. Then the year before last, first year, Bournemouth back in the Premier League, he scored 6 goals. You know, okay, nothing great. But last year, he had a meteoric rise and scored 19 goals. So obviously he caught the attention of a lot of clubs, Tottenham included. There was the big, you know, hoo-ha of who we were going to go for after during the summer. I was a big fan. I still am. I'm a big fan of Ivan Toney. So for me, he was my first choice. Premier League proven, great age, great skill set. Really think he would come in and do a fantastic job for us. Then obviously you got Victor Gyökeres, who's doing amazing things at Sport in Lisbon. Had a fantastic season. Some may know him at his time at Coventry. He was only there 2 years ago. I think he scored 20 goals. Got the move to Sporting, scored about 29 goals, was fantastic. So he's another shout. And then Dominic Solanke and Jonathan David over at Lille in Ligue 1 in France. Those were the 4 names that kept cropping up everywhere. So it's going to be one of those 4. We've obviously gone for Dominic Solanke, homegrown, already Premier League proven, had a great year last year. You know, he doesn't really have to settle in, so to speak. Young at 26, still got a lot to prove. There's a lot of doubters and naysayers whether he will be, you know, the guy, or was it just a flash in the pan? Was that a one-off season, or is this the sign of things to come? He can feel a bit aggrieved that he didn't make the England squad, the Euro squad, after such a good season. But obviously, at the same time, there are so many players fighting for 2 or 3 spots. So you know, that's there. But if he does a job at Tottenham, I'm sure he can knock on that England door and hopefully get into the squad. So yeah, so he was the main player coming in this summer. I'm not going to go crazy on the transfers because I will have a whole segment where once the window's closed, we'll go into it and how I feel and what's what. But, you know, I don't want to do too much and basically keep cross-wiring on content. But yeah, so starting 11 for us: Vicario, Pedro Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie. So that's the back four. Romero and Van der Ven pairing each other as the centre backs. Porro on the right side, Udogie on the left. Sarr, Bentancur, and Maddison as the midfield three. There was always a lot of question marks. Who was going to start? Would it be Sarr? Would it be Bentancur? Obviously, Basuma wrote himself off with the incident in the summer, where if you're not sure, didn't know what was going on, he got caught. I say caught. He uploaded the footage himself, which is, again, is idiotic. It's idiotic to do it in the first place. But to be the person to expose yourself or snitch on yourself is even crazier. But he, after, I think it was after the Bayern Munich game that Saturday, he was uploading snaps or videos on his Snapchat of him inhaling laughing gas. Obviously, that's a no-no, and the club suspended him for the first game of the season. So, yeah, big trouble, suspension. I think the club did the right thing, though. Stuff like that shouldn't be tolerated, especially from one of the senior players in the squad now, and it's not on, and obviously he's been reprimanded for that. And then across the front three, it was pretty much, it picked itself. Brennan Johnson, who seems to be an Ange favourite on the right-hand side, Solanke down the middle, and Heung-min Son on the left-hand side. The great thing for me, and I'm excited to see, is Son on the left-hand side as a left winger throughout the season. No back-to-goal stuff, no trying to hold the ball up, not Son's strengths. Let him interact and bounce off of the striker like he used to do with Kane. And then we can go from there. Son at his best, doing what he does, and obviously that's the sign of things to come. Dominic Solanke, it was an interesting game. I thought he played quite well, and there was a lot of good touches in the box. You can see that he's a player who likes to receive the ball in that penalty yard box. Had a few shots, looked a bit not rusty, just looked a bit like nervous, a bit shaky. Like sometimes you feel that if he was in Bournemouth and he's comfortable, there was a shot where he took it and he smashed it at the goalkeeper, but you feel that on another day when he's a bit more composed, similar to what Ollie Watkins did against Switzerland when England played them. The ball comes in, you fire it low and across the goalkeeper into that bottom corner. That's what I would have thought Dominic Solanke would have done or could have done on another day. But hey, we move. I thought he had a decent game for his first game. But yeah, that's the starting 11 for both teams. Obviously, we was away to Leicester. I don't really need to read it out, but that's their team. And the surprise, I would say the surprise package or the surprise appearance was Jamie Vardy. Didn't have a pre-season, was deemed touch and go. Was he going to be fit enough to start? Lo and behold, he did. And he had a decent game. I say decent game when he contributed to the goal that helped them snatch a point. And he had a couple of good chances. They could have won it on another day. The frustrating thing for me is that we just didn't make our dominance count. I thought we played sensational football in that first half. I will go out and say, I'll go out on the limb and say, I think in that first half of football, we played the best football across the Premier League for the opening weekend, opening match week fixtures. I thought we were sensational. And obviously, I watched all the games. And in that first half, we were amazing. With and without the ball, they couldn't get near us. The patterns of play were there. Created so many chances. But the funny thing or interesting thing is, obviously on the time, I'm not looking at all the stats, but when I looked at our XG after the game and I deeped it, it's very similar to Leicester's. Here you go, actually. Here's one I made earlier. So the XG, as you can see, Tottenham 1.18 expected goals, Leicester 1.05. So for all that dominance, 70% possession, for all of the chances we created, there wasn't many clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. And that just goes to show. And the frustrating thing is we went in 1-0 up at half-time. Fantastic cross from James Maddison, early cross, Pedro Porro, glancing header into the corner. Those ones are always difficult for the goalkeeper to save because they're not set. And obviously, if that ball goes into the corner, it's going to be hard for them to reach it. And so, obviously, I'm happy with the 1-0 lead. Of course I am, especially when we were dominating possession. But a 1-0 margin is a slender margin. And obviously, all you know is that at some point, Leicester will have to get back into the game. They couldn't be any worse. So they're only going to get better. And the problem for me is that we didn't make our dominance count. We didn't kill them off when we had the chance. And lo and behold, I think they scored with their first shot. It was a header, but their first shot on target, James Vardy, unmarked on the back stick, really poor defending. And obviously it's 1-1. And then after that, we literally, our asses went. And we could have conceded 2 or 3 after that. We were so shaky. Udogie, bless him, First game back after a long hiatus after being injured. He had a bit of a preseason, of course, but first competitive game for Spurs in a long time. And he looked fantastic when we were in the ascendancy and, you know, doing well and whatever. But as soon as they scored, he was very shaky, a couple of turnovers, looked very discombobulated on the pitch. And yeah, I need to see more from Udogie in that sense this season. There's going to be times where it's going to be rocky. We're not always going to have our way. We're not always going to be on the front foot. We are actually going to have to defend at times. You are a defender by trade. You're a left back. So I just need to see more from him in that sense. He's young. I get it. And, you know, I'm being critical, but this is it. This is the top level. And I feel he's a top level left back. So these are, you know, I'm being extra harsh, but it's tough love. You know, you got to do better for me, Udogie. When you're under pressure, not giving the ball away, not making silly mistakes and not making silly fouls, which then invite pressure on because they can obviously have a set piece, get all the big bodies up and put us under more pressure. But yeah, just unpacking the stats, as you can see, 70% possession to their 30%, 7 shots on target to their 3. Obviously, they scored one of their 3. We only scored one of our 7. So we just need to be a bit more clinical and a bit more ruthless. And to be fair, with all the possession we had in the first half, especially that first 50 to 60 minutes, I'd expect to see more than 7 shots on target. It sounds good on paper, but when you break it down, we could have and should have done more. And, you know, the telling thing for me is that we both had the same amount of big chances, which is criminal considering they only had 30% of the ball and they only had 3 shots on target. So 2 of their 3 shots were quality chances, while only 2 of our 7 were. So that's where, for me, we need to get better. It's early days, I know. It's the first game of the season, but obviously this has happened now. So we're just unpacking what's there. Anything else to really talk about? Corners as well. We absolutely, 13 corners to 2. And in the first half, I think it was like 7 or 8 corners, which is, again, it just shows the dominance. But it's all well and good, the stats looking good. But obviously the only stat that counts, and I think Jose Mourinho was the guy to say this, the only stat that counts or matters is the stat at the top of the screen, the stat at the top of the scoreboard. What's the final score? And obviously for us, unfortunately, those points dropped. It's not all doom and gloom. Teams did lose this weekend as well. Obviously, we didn't. But considering Leicester a newly promoted team, considering Leicester had a lot of injuries, and considering how good of a team we're supposed to be, and how the football we play, I would have expected us to get all 3 points. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat that. Not at all. We should have and could have done better. But it's early days, and obviously the good thing is that there's a game straight away, so we can hopefully right our wrongs and get back on it. Anyway, let me move this. I know you guys came to see my pretty face, so here it is. You know, and yeah, you know what? Let's check the comments. Let's see what the people are saying. You know what? I need to. Oh, Chloe, what's good? How are you? Hope you're good. I see you was at the game yesterday. Obviously, Chloe's a Chelsea fan, so you know, let's show her some love, even though she is an op. But really good peoples. I saw she was at the game yesterday. They had a Europa Conference League qualifier. They won 2-0. So yeah, it's always good when I see my friends and you know, hitting the terraces and going to the games. Love that. So hope you're good and hope you enjoyed the game. Our defense goes missing at the wrong time, open too easily. That happened too many times last season. Yeah, I agree. And this is the thing, you know, if you're going to play this high octane football, all guns blazing, offensively, that's cool. You've got to score your chances when you make them. But defensively, I just want to see a bit more solidity this year. Like, you can't always keep conceding the same amount of goals. We've got good defenders. We've got a very good goalkeeper. We shouldn't be conceding this amount of goals. That's why, for me, I wanted a real number 6. As you guys know, if you tune into me and watch me on the Football Terrace, Last Word on Spurs, or all the other shows I'm on, I said it, one of the main priorities for me this summer was to get a number 6, someone who can just sit there and just secure and lock up the defense and just be that protector, that barrier in front of them. We haven't got one. We're going to have to see how the youngsters do, as in Archie Gray. We're going to have to see, hopefully, Basuma. Fingers crossed. And obviously Bentancur. None of them are natural number 6s in that sense, but we're just going to have to work with what we got to work with. What's Chloe saying? I managed to rattle Chelsea Twitter with video people trying to... You know what? For those, the context behind this is that Chloe is the biggest Conor Gallagher fan ever. She's a massive Conor Conor Gallagher stan, and she loves him. And I offended her in the summer. I was like, I don't want Conor Gallagher. He's this, he's that. She's like, what? So obviously Conor Gallagher's gone to Atletico Madrid. Respect to him. I think that was a horrible situation, man. Chelsea handled him really wrongly when he's sitting in limbo in a hotel, not knowing what's going on. Respect to Conor Gallagher, man. I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't want him for how we play and everything like that. But I really hope he does well, just to shove it down their throats, because they treated him like crap, really. And I thought after Cole Palmer last season, Conor Gallagher was Chelsea's best player. Like, no one can tell me otherwise. I don't care. Like, he was good last year. Cole Palmer was amazing, sensational, deserves all the plaudits. But for me, Conor Gallagher was their second best player. So I don't understand the hate. I really don't get it. But it's good that he's got out of there. And I hope he goes and shines at Atletico Madrid. He's a good player in a good environment. He will thrive. That's a quality team, Champions League football, great manager. It's a good move for him, man. Very good move for him. So respect to him. Sometimes you got to leave and get out there, man. If you're not respected, get out. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're the architect of your own career, your own future. And this goes to anyone. If your workplace aren't showing you the love and respect, or your friends or your family or your colleague, you know, you've got to do what's best for you. So respect to him. I like that. I do. I can't lie. I always admire players that are brave, and especially when it's a new country. It's a lot to do, but fair play to him. Exactly. At least he's happy now in Madrid. Hope he. I agree. But you know what? This ain't. You're very, very cheeky. This is not. This is not a Chelsea podcast, so enough of this. But yeah, nah, it's all love. It's all love. But yeah. Hello, Pat. Strange that we started with a draw and concussion. Oh yeah, you know what? That's a good point. Last year we started with a 2-2 draw against Brentford away, and I remember because Emerson Royale scored a really nice goal, and then he did that celebration. And I was like, yes, Emerson, get in. So shout out to Emerson Royale as well. He's gone. I hope he does really well. Great guy, really liked him, but he just wasn't good enough, especially for the way we want to play. But I don't have a bad word to say about him. I really like him. Shout out to Skippy as well. Skippy's obviously at Leicester now. We played them obviously on Monday. It was a bit too early for him to get involved. I hope he does well. I'll be watching with a keen eye. One of our own, again, just wasn't good enough. If we want to make moves, sometimes we've got to be ruthless. And the outgoings have been, to be fair to the board and the guys, the powers that be, they have done really well with getting some of the deadwood out. But I just want to see some more. Yeah, we'll get into that in a bit anyway. But yeah, let's Spurs need that killer attitude and desire to finish off teams when dominating games with regards to corners. It's criminal not to threaten once. Yeah, that exactly. Michael, I don't know if you've caught all of the stream so far, but that's what I said. The fact that we had 13 corners and really didn't really create anything off of that, that's telling. It's all well and good having all the dominance and all the... And that goes, you know what, this goes back to... I pulled this off just some of the stats, some of the takeaways from the weekend. Look at this. So Spurs, the most successful passes in the final third over the Premier League's opening weekend. So obviously, you know, players in dominant positions exerting their, you know, skill or attacking prowess on the opposition. The top 3 most successful passes in the final third over the Premier League this weekend. James Maddison, number 1, 33 successful passes. Pedro Porro, number 2, 26. Son, number 3, 25. So you can see how dominant we were this weekend. So it's so frustrating that we didn't get the win. And this goes here. Look, Tottenham stats over the opening weekend. Possession, 70.7% possession. So that was second. I'd love to see who was first. Probably Man City, but yeah, I mean, that's a lot of the ball. Touches in the opposition box, 60. So first. Crosses completed, first. Let me remove this. Respect to you, Michael, but let me remove your comment just so we can see the stat properly. And expected goals. But look, shots on target 7 seconds, so brilliant. But expected goals, and I did touch on this earlier, for all of that dominance and all of that attacking prowess in the first half and obviously up to like the 60th, 70th minute, expected goals was only 10th in the league for the opening games, 1.23. So that needs to be better, man. We can't be having all of the ball and doing all of this and that and then just not really threatening the opposition. So yeah, that's where I land on that. Great guys, Emerson and Skip, I agree. Bowen would be a good number 6. What's your thinking? Bowen number 6? What? Jared Bowen, the winger. No, man. Maybe you've got the wrong name there. I don't understand that because obviously Jared Bowen is a quality winger. He's a wide forward, but he's not a number 6. So maybe that's a typo. I don't understand that one personally, Richard. So let me know. But yeah, I'm a bit confused with that one. Pat, brilliant overview on Spurs. You speak a lot of sense and very level-headed. Smashing it on last word on Spurs. See you and the coaches if you're there tomorrow. Respect, Mario. Yeah, if you are there tomorrow, obviously I might not know what you look like, so you come and shout me, but I respect that, man. I love that. Thank you for all the... And you know what? It's crazy because I say it's crazy, obviously. It's not crazy, but it's lovely the amount of respect and nice compliments and stuff I get. It is humbling and it's nice to know that my words and thoughts are appreciated and like you guys enjoy what I say and what I do. And yeah, that's lovely. So thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all. I really do. I appreciate you guys stopping in now to tune in. I didn't even have a set time. I just said I was gonna jump on live and I did, and all you guys are here. So that's amazing, man. So shout out to you. But anyway, let me stop all of that. Son Richie Kulu to start against Everton. Yeah, we're gonna get into that, Andy. We're gonna get into that in a sec. One sec. Let me get this out of the way. Get off the screen. Let's get back to the comments. What else do people say? Hear me out. Romero. Oh, no, man. What's going on? No. You lot are doing too much. Like, I like the inventiveness. I'm hearing Jared Bowen as a number 6. Now Romero as a number 6. How about we just go and get a number 6? Yeah? Why not? And you know what's going to really annoy me? As you guys know, if you've been watching me, one sec, let me have a... Lovely. But yeah, over the summer, my number 6 targets, I wanted Ugarte. And he's going to go Man United now. And that's going to really, really annoy me because that's someone that was there for the taking. And this is the thing. When I try to assess my targets and people that we should get, they were always people who I thought were available. I'm not going to go out and say, oh, let's go and get Rodri or Declan Rice. A, they're not going to come to us. B, the selling club will never sell to us. C, obviously, they're at a club right now that is, with all due respect, playing better, higher platform, blah, blah, blah. So I always try to be realistic with my expectations and players that we can go and get. And all the guys I've listed, the guys that are available, we can go and get, and we haven't. And when Ugarte goes to Man United, that's really going to piss me off. I'm not going to lie, because that is such an easy fixer right there, right under our noses, and we've just slept and sleepwalked and you know what I mean, sleepwalking into the games, and the same problems are there for everyone to see, and it's annoying. Chatty Patty, it's going to be a long season, maybe for you. By the way, this is an Arsenal fan, people, so get onto him. Disgusting, dirty gooner. No, I'm joking. He's a good guy, but he's an Arsenal fan, so nevertheless, that does take away some of his credibility. And yeah, it's going to be, I said this, you know what? The irony is there's another content creator, her name's Patty, and she calls herself Chatty Patty, but Chatty with 2 T's and 2 I's, and then Patty, really good girl. She's an Arsenal fan as well. And I was saying to her, if you lot don't win something this year, it's going to be a long, long summer for you lot. And I will be getting on to you lot, because at the end of the day, you've been fantastic for 2 years. This will be your 3rd year. And essentially, without silverware, you're just a spicy Spurs from 2015 to 2019. We did exactly what you lot were doing. Finishing 2nd, challenging, having nice football, doing all of this, all of that. But without the silverware to back it up, and don't give me that, oh, but Arteta's won a trophy. He inherited Unai Emery's team and obviously got over the line. But since he's been given all the funds and everything else, it's been 8th, 5th, 2nd. Yeah? I need to see something to really solidify. Not even me, I don't care really, but for you lot who have been this good for this long, go and win something. So don't talk to me about long seasons. You lot focus on your own journey, because trust me, without silverware, it's going to be a long... I will be on your asses, pause. I will be, because I've heard it from you lot for way too long. And as it stands right now, you're not doing anything. Yeah, you play good football. Yeah, you have good players. Yeah, you're this, you're that. But go and win something. Prove your dominance. Spurs have that pool. Depends in what context. We have a pool compared to a lot of other clubs, of course. Like, we're not obviously on the level of Arsenal, Man United, or Liverpool, but there's a lot of clubs, a lot of players that we could attract. 100%. The brand of football we play, we're a big club, we're in the Premier League, blah 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 blah. We pay good wages, so yeah, we got pool. It just depends how. And for me, it's always about selling the project as well. If you can actually show these players that there is a trajectory, there is a plan, there is a project, of course, we've got the pool. So, yeah. Anyway, Bowen started there. I'm sure he did. Nah. You might have the wrong name. And I'm not even trying to dig you out, Richard, but I don't think you're talking about Jared Bowen, the winger, because he's never been a number 6. So he's a wide forward, and he's even deputised as a striker for West Ham. They obviously have problems, a lot of injuries to what's his name? The big oaf, the one that got onto Richarlison. His name has skipped my mind at the moment. But yeah, Jared Bowen's never played as a 6. Fofana link, yeah. Yes, Rodney. What are you saying, man? How you doing? Yeah, exactly. Coys as well. Sorry if I missed some comments. Let me try and Yes, Paddy, how you doing, bro? You worry, okay. Yeah. Shout me. What are you worried about the most, Paddy? If you're still watching, let me know what you're worried about the most. Yeah, I do expect to win tomorrow. Time will tell with Solanke. I know it's early days. I think for me, like, I can't go too crazy. I think he did all the right things. The movement was good. The link-up play was good. Pressing from the front. He looked eager. He looked keen. Wasn't scared to get on the ball. Just the finishing could have been. But I said it on, I'm on so many podcasts. I can't remember where I said it. But I said, I'm not worried about that because I've seen Harry Kane have games like that where he doesn't score, he looks good, just doesn't finish. Erling Haaland, any striker you can think of is going to have those games. You're not going to score in every game, but he did enough to show me that there's definitely a player there. But obviously time will tell. It's way too early. And yeah, if Solanke is fit, I think he bags tomorrow as well. There's a few rumours that he's missed training this week and he's nursing a potential ankle injury. Obviously, I've not seen anything concrete, so I don't want to be saying stuff that without any real credible sources, but I've been hearing this, so fingers crossed, just to let you guys know, which will be annoying because the guy literally played every game last year for Bournemouth, and then he comes to Tottenham and then he's you couldn't write this shit, could you? You couldn't make it up. Honestly, it's fucking mental. Shout outs to all you Spurs fans, man, because we are made from different stuff. I tell you, honestly, you have to be so resilient to be a Spurs fan because we're always there or thereabouts, but never really there. Do you get what I mean? And Spurs fans will know exactly what I'm saying here. They honestly will. But you know what? Talk to me, people, because for me, I was really annoyed that Kulusevski didn't start. I thought he was our best player in pre-season. He looked bright, he looked lively. We played him down the middle. We played him, centrally, and I thought he looked fantastic. Brought a lot of different elements, showed a lot of different elements to his game. I think he's such a great utility player. The only problem for me with Kulusevski is that I think he's such a good footballer that he's almost like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. He needs to really look down a position, but I think because he's so good, he can play on the wing, he can play centrally, he can even, as they've shown, play as a false 9 or a striker. And when he came on, look how good he was for those last 10 minutes. And look at this stat. Only Bukayo Saka at 15 touches had more touches in the opposition box than Dejan Kulusevski with 11 in the opening Premier League weekend. Kulusevski was subbed on the 79th minute. So that shows the impact. And I think I stated this on Last Word on Spurs. For me, he showed the quality when he had a nice touch around the corner, got fouled by his man who couldn't obviously handle him, got up, rode another challenge, and the referee pulled it back when he was in a really advantageous position down the wing. Should have allowed him to cut in or, get the cross off. So the referee messed up and blew too early, but that just showed his quality, man. The guy's such a good player, and I want to see him starting on Saturday. So you need to start your best players, especially when you're after a bad result like that. But yeah, shout out to Dejan Kulusevski. He's doing everything right at the moment. He needs to have a good season, though. I mean, when he first came into the league, he was fantastic. And obviously there was all these shouts about Saka, Kulusevski, who's better. And lots of people were rightfully at this time saying Kulusevski looks like the better player. But obviously Saka's gone clear and Kulusevski's kind of petered out. But the player's still there, as you can see. And it's time for him to really show what he's about. So yeah, man. Thoughts on these two lads? Because I was a bit critical with these guys. Not critical, but just I think a bit honest. I'm just for me, with all the signings that we've brought in this summer, for me, I feel the only genuine starter is Dominic Solanke. Obviously, he comes in and starts straight away with Richarlison. There's no bones about that. But, you know, I think these guys are talented kids, but the point is that they're kids. And it's going to take a while for them to really, I feel, adjust to the Premier League and cement themselves. And I just really wanted to see us go out. And it's all well and good having a succession and a future plan, but you need also players that are ready for the here and the now, like the right now. And these guys, I'm not sure if they're there yet. Do you know what I mean? And people are being, oh, you're too critical. These guys are genuine starters, this and that. But are they though? Or are you lot just hoping that they are? I want people that are genuine starters right now. Do you know what I mean? So that's the difference. And it's good. You can have the sprinkle of youth. And we've got Mikey Moore. We've got Bergville. We've got Archie Gray, the two guys in the picture. We've got Wilson Odeberg. All these guys, 16, 17, 18, 19. They're all talented youngsters, super talented. But, you know, Dominic Solanke, 26, 27. Those are the kind of, I also want to see some 24, 25, 27, 28-year-olds. Like James Maddison last year. You're bringing them in for the now. You're not bringing him in because maybe in 2 or 3 years he'll be 80 million, 90 million pounds worth of talent. But at the end of the day, if you bring them in and the club does well, then they do well. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I really wanted to see 2 or more people coming in that will literally step into the starting 11, because that's for me how you get better. You increase the actual talent on the starting 11, and obviously the good players then drop to the bench, and there's actual rotation and people are fighting for positions and all of that. Where right now, these guys maybe can add depth and quality, but yeah, we'll see, innit? Because maybe in 2 or 3 months, 4 months, these guys will prove me wrong and they're starting and week in and week out and they're shining. But I don't see it. That's a lot of optimism. Sometimes you need to actually just not just try and bank on, you know, sheer faith and optimism. Get some bankers in, some guys that you know will come in and do a job. So that's my thoughts on that. You know me, I'm a straight shooter. I'm not going to just sit here and gas it up just because they're Spurs players. Like I said, I think they're good players, but it doesn't mean that they're ready right now. And that's my problem. Do you know what I mean? Let's get back to the comments quickly. Shit, there's a lot of comments, man. Shout out to you lot. You lot are going in. Chloe, yeah, laughing. Exactly. She took me off my train of thought for a bit. But nah, shout out to Chloe, man. Good peoples. Spurs need that. Yeah. Sorry, I've done that one. Yeah, great. Yeah, Emerson Skip and Emerson Skip, Emerson Royale and Oliver Skip. Fantastic players, good guys, good characters. Never complained, got on and, you know, I mean, Emerson Royale started at centre-back against Man City at the Etihad away and did a stellar job there. He's played left-back, right-back, centre-back. Oliver Skip played right-back, starts at the 6, has played at the 8. These guys are versatile, good players, just not at the level we want to be at right now because of how we play. High octane on the ball, you know, need to zip it, move it around, and maybe they're just not at that level, but they're more than capable to do a good job at other good teams. So shout outs to them. Son, Richie Kulu started Spurs. Yeah, I think we've done that. I hear you. Appreciate you, Pat. Happy Friday. Appreciate you too, bro. Happy Friday to you as well. And obviously, you know, Friday means it's essentially the weekend now. So yeah, shout out to you, man. Chatty Pat is going to be, yeah, I've done that one. Where am I going with this? Have a good Friday. I hope you're, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Kulu had a good preseason. Didn't understand exactly. I said that as well, Gary. I don't understand that. But you know, it's one game. I guess not everyone can start, you know. When you've got a talented and quality 15, 16, not everyone can start. I get that. But I also thought it was a bit confusing. So yeah, I hear you. And that's how you doing, bro? Another Chelsea fan, but respect for coming in and popping by. Always love for the love. Big up to you as well. Were you at the game yesterday? What's your thoughts on Chelsea this season? Quickly drop me a comment. And you as well, Chloe, if you're still here. Where do you think Chelsea will finish? Do you think you're going to win any silverware? Just a short, punchy, sharp answer. And will you finish above Spurs? Let me know what you lot think about that. I think Ange wanted Johnson's pace. Yeah, I know. This is Brennan Johnson. The jury's out for you, bro. Like, I like you. I really want you to do well. But I'm not going to just sit here and just gaslight you. I need to see more this year. I need to see a lot more. 10 assists, 5 goals last season. Decent season, decent return when you're looking at the GA. But I also watch the games and I've seen the clangers. I've seen the mishit passes. I've seen the scuffed crosses. I've seen the woeful finishing. I've seen the poor decision making. There's still a lot that is left to be desired. But you are young. It's your second season at Spurs. It's only your third season in the Premier League. You know, you've had to get thrown in the deep end, probably played a bit more than you would have expected to play last year with all the injuries and everything like that. But Ange has shown a lot of faith in you, and I need to see that return now. Better decision making, better finishing. better quality passes, just being a bit more ruthless in that final third. Actually take your man on. I think for me, the good, the bad, and the ugly that it epitomised Brennan Johnson's career so far at Spurs was on the weekend, Leicester. He stole the ball, brilliant tackle, had acres of space to run into. He's fast, and he just didn't know what he was doing, looked like a deer lost in the headlights, stepped on the ball, fell over, lost the ball, and then obviously Leicester then started a counter-attack. And that just summed him up so far, man. It's just much of much, but nothing of nothing. Is that even a saying? Oh, I just made that up. But yeah, anyway, we move. Outside the box, Sterling would be a pop over Johnson. I don't know, man. No, not really. Not for me. Like, Sterling, respect to him. He's only 27, I believe. He's had a fantastic career, but I just don't see him as a guy that's coming in to... Is he going to do much better than the wingers we've got? Like, if we're going to go out and get quality, but Sterling on his wages, and I just don't know if that guy's hungry anymore. And there's Chelsea fans in here that have watched him week in and week out. Is he still hungry? Does he still want to do it? Is he good enough right now? Just because someone was good doesn't mean they still are. And for me, every time I've watched Chelsea, he looks like he's regressed. He's not been good. Decision making poor. Obviously, like, you know, just, yeah. I don't know. I just don't see the guy that I would really want at Spurs right now. There's no point having 3 or 4 wingers that are all very similar in the sense of not great finishing, not great decision making, not great contributors in the final third. Johnson, Werner, and then Sterling. I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see the point personally. Yeah, Kulusevski should have started. He's an awesome play on form and tactics. Yeah. I think they will be starters by the end of the season. So this is going back to the Archie Gray and Burville. And yeah, I hope so. I really do. I want them to do well, Simon. I really do. But I also want players that are ready for the now, just to increase that squad depth and just increase the quality, really. If we have starters coming in, the team's much better. We finished 5th last year. And for me, when I look at it, you know, this is a good segue. Let's go into the next part because I don't want to keep you guys too long. We're already at 40 minutes. It's mad. All I'm doing is talking at the screen and talking to you guys. And we're already at 40 minutes. But I obviously took the time out. Let me remove your comments for now. I will definitely bring this back in. I sat down. I say sat down. I drummed this up quickly. I have put together my predictions for the Premier League season. This is how I think it will finish up. I'm not gonna lie. After the top 10, it's a free for all. Do you know what I mean? But the relegation teams I thought about, and that's the teams I think are going to go down. So for me, no surprise, Manchester City again. I don't think I need to speak too much about them. I just think they're an amazing team. Probably one of the best dynasties we've seen of all time, not just recently, of all time. Like the amount of Premier Leagues they've won, the amount of trophies they've cleaned up on, they're so dominant. And Arsenal are fuming. They're pissed because in any other season, any other moment, these guys probably win 1 or 2 Premier Leagues now because Arsenal are legitimate. They're a good team. Like, there's no bones about it. Even though I'm a Spurs fan, I know good football when I see it. I know a good team when I see it. Defensively, Arsenal legit. The midfield makes sense. The attack makes sense. Havertz made sense, or makes sense now. It didn't when I first saw it, and I didn't understand it, but it makes sense now. Arteta's done some amazing things there, but they just can't get across the line because Man City are that good. Liverpool, I still think, even though a lot of people have written them off, Arnie slot this, Arnie slot that, blah, 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 they're still a good team, man. There's still a lot of players there. There's still a lot of winners there. These guys still win trophies pretty much year in, year out. There's a good unit there, and I don't really see them dropping any lower than that. And I'm not going to lie. Here we go. Here's one I made earlier. So, Mum, if you're watching, I hope you're proud of me. I hope you enjoy my, and yeah, here you go, Blue Peter. So I'll put together a little bit of dialogue because I'm not going to lie as well. Aston Villa finishing 4th. I think Aston Villa probably are the 4th best team right now. You got to give it to them. The year before last, they finished above us. This season just gone, they finished above us. They deserve to. When we lost 5 at the last 7, they weren't great at the end of the season either, but they did enough to just cement that cushion and keep that cushion. But the caveat for me is, how are they going to cope with Champions League? That takes a lot out of you. And obviously, when you're in the Champions League, you can't be embarrassed. You can't rotate. You have to go full gung-ho, full tilt, blah, blah, blah. How are they going to react to that? With us being in Europa League, again, a lot of questions asked. Deeper squad, how will we do? Probably a bit easier to manage than being in the Champions League. But the caveat to that is that we have to play Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday. So we're watching a lot of the other teams get results, and then psychologically that can take a toll on you. So we'll have to see how we manage with that. But yeah, it's very close between Tottenham and Aston Villa, especially with what I said. But with that being said, Newcastle, who finished 7th last year, sorry, but because Man United won the FA Cup, they missed out on European football. That could be a blessing in disguise for them. They've got a good team there. Eddie Howe is a good manager. They won't probably suffer the same amount of injuries they did last year, which was catastrophic to them. And without any European football, they can do what we did last year and essentially just focus on the league. So that, for me, they're a dark horse for the top 4 because of what I've just stated. And I feel with the players that they've got, Tonali coming back, Guimaraes, they're going to have, the Brazilian guy. My memory's a bit bad today. I apologize. But, they've got good players, man. Good players. And obviously Isaac as well. Probably the second best striker in the league after Haaland. Yeah, they've got good players, and they will be a force to be reckoned with. We've got them away in a couple of weeks, or next week. And that's a game I'm dreading because going to St. James's Park isn't for everyone. And so far, we've proved it's not for us. So, Man United, just don't know. With Ten Hag as the manager, I'm just not sure. Even though they're getting in players, I just don't know. I don't think he's the guy for them. And then Chelsea 8th. Yeah, I just think they're a bit of a mess, but I do think they're a lot better than the other teams below them. West Ham, Brighton, probably round out the top 10. And then when it comes to the relegation candidates, I've put Everton in there. So if there's any Everton fans, there you go. There's a bit of a jazz and a razzmatazz to it. I'll do that again for you guys because you loved it so much. But if there's any Everton fans out there, I apologise, man. But I just feel you've danced with the devil and flirted with death for too long. And sooner or later, it catches up with you. Rumours again that they've messed around with FFP and PSR and all of that. And then maybe more sanctions. And I just see that. I just don't know if they've got enough. After a while, it takes its toll if you're not, being there or thereabouts and just surviving for the last couple of years. I think this year it's just one battle too many. Southampton, I just don't think they've got enough. And Ipswich, I like their story. I love what they're doing. Shout out to Ed Sheeran. He's one of my favourite artists. I love Ed Sheeran as a musician, but I just don't see them having enough. And that means I think Leicester stay up. Nottingham Forest stay up. Bournemouth, I don't think they're going to have any problems. Wolves, good team on the day. Brentford, good team on the day. Fulham, good team on the day. Crystal Palace, their fans might be annoyed that I didn't put them in the top 10, but I just think it's hard. There's a lot of good teams now. But yeah, that's my shout. So let me know your predictions. Let me know what you think about that. Have I done your team dirty? Have I showed your team too much respect? Have I showed other teams too much respect? Let me know what you think about that. But that's my thoughts right now on what I think the final predictions will be for the season. Let's go back to the comments quickly. I don't know why. I think Fulham may struggle. Well, why have I not gone to? Why is it not allowing me to clear go? Yeah, I don't know, man. Nah, you know what? No, I don't think so. I think they've actually bought wisely. They've got S. Smith Rowe, they've got Sessin Young, they bought in Carvalho from Liverpool. Nah, I disagree. I think they'll be all right, to be fair. I think they've done some good business. Biss is a player. Off-field issues will stop him becoming. Yeah, and you know what? That will segue to one of my points. One of my takeaways for this year, so basically every podcast I'm going to do a takeaway. So one of my thoughts or something that I feel at the time, and I think for me now it's time for this guy to step up and become the player we know he can be. No more excuses, Biss. You've had your chances. We all love you. We all want you to do well, but you just got to mature, man. Just grow up a bit. And I get it. Like, you're a young guy. The world's at your feet. You're a good-looking guy. You've got swag. You've got the charisma. You love all the jewelry and all the fancy clothes, and you like living that lifestyle. And I've got no problem with that. Be yourself. Exert your personality and your confidence onto the world and shine and be the guy that you are. But also remember that you've got a job. Remember that you're a talented player. Remember that you can bring so much to the football club. And obviously without football, you wouldn't be where you are in that sense. And I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just trying to say that you are such a good player. And when you're switched on, you can be amazing. But I just need to see that. I need to see you just controlling games more often than not. You're not going to have 38 amazing games. No one does. But you need to have at least 28 to 30 good games, like top games, for you to be a top player. Get on the ball, do your bits and bobs, show the world how good you are, drop that shoulder, beat that man, create that pass, be the pass before the pass, break up play, tackles, all of that. At the beginning, 10 games of the season last year, he was scintillating, fantastic. There was all the comparisons, Declan Rice and Basuma and this and that. And for the first 10 games, yeah, he was much better. But the difference is Declan Rice is consistent and will never drop below a 7. Basuma can have a 10 game, 9 out of 10, and the next week he'll be 2 or 3. Declan Rice doesn't do that. So the level's got to stay consistent and just be the guy you can be, man. Especially if we're not going to go out and get another player. And the club have decided we've got Basuma, we've got obviously Bentancur, Archie Gray, Burville. I'm probably forgetting someone else. There's options there. Then you've now got to be as one of the elder statesmen. You've got to really show what you're about and just do what we know you can do. So yeah, that's my takeaway for this week. Very disappointed in Biss of obviously being caught up. Well, not even being caught. He uploaded the he uploaded the incident himself onto his Snapchat. Just being stupid, isn't it? Like, yeah, it's not on. You're a professional footballer and you should know better. So for me, come on, Biss, like, get it together. We need you. The team needs you. You need yourself, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, seriously, get it together, man. And just quickly, obviously, we've got Everton on Saturday. Quick one on that. I think we'll win 4-1. Going big. It's time to obviously right our wrongs from Monday. I think that we will score quite a few goals. The problem for me is that we just can't keep a clean sheet. So I don't think we will break that hex. And the danger men for Everton, as you can see on your screen, we've got Dwight McNeil, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Jack Harrison. Dwight McNeil, very good player, tricky player, would like to get on the ball and try and exert himself. 3 goals and 6 assists last year from 35 games. That's a good return for a team of Everton's quality. Very good player, I like him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's a guy that should have pushed on by now. Good striker in his day, but his day doesn't really come around that often. But touch wood, don't want to jinx it. Don't want that day to be on Saturday. But 32 games last year, 7 goals, 2 assists. And last but not least, Jack Harrison, good player, good. I mean, he pretty much obviously is a fullback, but I do see him pushed up high on the pitch, likes to get on the ball and create chances. Last year, 29 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. So for me, those are the guys to watch. They're danger men. Obviously, I really hope. Where's my banner? Oh, you know what? I'm jumping all over the place, but yeah, I hope to see as many of you guys at the stadium as possible. Obviously, I don't know where I'm going to be on Saturday. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to freestyle it. Might be at the Beehive, might be at the Brickies, might be at the Coach's Arms. I'll be there or thereabouts. Going to shout everyone and see what they're up to. So yeah, by all means, just come down and say hello. If you see me, say hello, all of that stuff. And what I will do, because I've kind of like, apologies, it's been a bit all over the shop today. A bit rusty, and I've not done a show on my own channel for a while. I am saying that we're going to finish 5th. So that's the main thing. And I'm also saying I'm going to put myself out there, and I need standards and we need to have standards. So season predictions, I think we finish 5th and I think we win the Europa League. So bookmark that. 53 minutes in. I'm actually going to write it down as well. So yeah, 53 minutes in, I'm claiming it in Jesus' name, amen. Spurs will finish 5th and win the Europa League. For me, the reason why is because, like I said last year, I wasn't too bothered if we dropped out of the top 4. And that wasn't because I was having a loser's mentality. It's because I was realistic. I didn't want to see us in the Champions League getting battered and pounded when I know right now the squad's not at that level. But I feel that if we were to drop into the Europa League, which we did, we finished 5th, I feel that we'll win that competition. We have to go out and win it. I feel we have to. It's been way too long without a trophy. It's been way too long without silverware. The fans need to see it. The players need to see it. The club needs to see it. So, Ange, you need to take it seriously. I believe you're assembling a squad. You always talk about in your second season, you go on and win things. Well, the proof is in the pudding, brother. We're here right now, innit? And this is why, for me, the window's crucial. After this window closes, no excuses. This is your second and third window here. Second free season. This is your club now. This is your squad. This squad is molded in your image as per what you've said yes and no to. You've let players go. You brought players in. We need to go and win this Europa League. There's no drop downs from the Champions League. So if you finish 3rd in the Champions League this upcoming season, you don't drop down into the Europa. So we'll be one of the strongest teams in there. No excuses. Bring that home. That shows the players there that they're actually working towards something. and that there is a finish line, and it allows us to then go and attract the better players because they can see that the club has recently won stuff, and there is obviously a pathway to more success, and it just gives the fans something to cling to hold on to. It's been way too long. So yeah, for me, finishing 5th, no shame in that. But if we win the Europa League, that's a major honour, and it gets us back into the Champions League the next year. So for me, fingers and toes crossed. I'm putting it out there into the universe. All the Spurs fans as well. Let's believe. Let's get on this. Let's get on this train, baby. It's going to be a rocky one. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be ups and downs and bumps and this and that. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling. Let me know if you think I'm crazy. Let me know if you agree. Let me know why, or this or that, all of that stuff. 5th and semi-finals of both domestic cups. Nah, we need to get to one final and win it. But fair play, Richard. Obviously, I can't tell you how to think or feel. You've got to do that for yourself. But I'm going bigger. I'm going bigger. Exactly. Come on, Spurs. So Richie went 4-1. Sorry, he went 3-1. Apologies. Yeah, I'm going 4-1. I need a statement win. I need some goals. I need to see that confidence back in the team and put Everton to the sword, man. They're not a great team. Allegedly, they're going to be short. Not going to have that many players available. We've all heard that before, though. So I'll take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah. 4th in a domestic cup. I like that. Bro, I'll take that all day long. That's Champions League football the next year and silverware. I'll take that all day long. We can win Europa, Coys. Here we go. There you go. My man. My man. So yeah. My man. Okay. Let me get out of that. So yeah, man, I'm gonna love you lot and leave you lot. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for stopping by. If you're watching this on the V1, smash a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching this right now, before you leave, smash a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Always honored, always humbled that you guys tune in. My name's Patrick Tyrant. I am Chatty Patty. This is episode 3.1. This is Friday, the 23rd of August. How dizzy are you lot gonna get if I keep doing this? And yeah, man, I'm out. I appreciate you all. I see as many of you as I can tomorrow at the game. Yeah, come on, you Spurs. Let's do this. Let's have a good season. And yeah, peace and love to all of you lot, man. Catch you soon, yeah?